Hello, artist. Welcome back to another Art Life Conversations podcast. I am your host, artist, teacher, coach, mentor, Kelly Folsom, and author. And so happy to be here with all of you today. On this podcast, this is where we talk about all things related to the art life, and no topic is really off limits. So grab a little cup of tea. Pull up a seat, and today we are going to talk about how much money can you make as an artist. So before we get into that, just to let you guys know, I have an upcoming 5-day still life painting challenge coming up at the end of the month. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's all kinds of resources. There's a quiz for you to take. There's a free chapter of my book, 30 Ways to Master Still Life Painting. Anyways, there's just lots of goodies there for you. You can either grab those links underneath the YouTube description, or you can run over to artlifewithkelly, Kelli.com, and see what all resources are available for you there. Okay, so now to get into our topic, how much money can you make as an artist? This is a question that a lot of people have. And what's interesting about this question is that the problem kind of lies within the question. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know whenever I decided to become an artist, I kind of had this thought of like, well, I'm going to be broke for the rest of my life, but this is what I love doing. This is what I want to do. And there was really no idea for me at the time about, how much money could I even possibly make. And maybe many of you actually wanted to become an artist or be a full-time professional artist, and you had well-meaning parents, at the time that said, are you kidding? Like, you can't do that. You are going to be broke, right? Because this is the paradigm for artists apparently out there. For us is that if you're going to be an artist, you're going to struggle financially. It drives me freaking crazy. All right. But it was certainly my experience. It was certainly my limiting belief as well as everybody around me. So this is just like the pervading limiting belief about artists is that you're going to have a very hard time making money. And then I said also that the problem really lies within the question because whoever is asking this question, how much money can you make as an artist, is kind of approaching it from a very, should I say, working class point of view, almost like, how whenever you're trying to decide what to do in order to get a degree, let's say you leave high school and everybody's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for a living? And then you go and you look up, okay, how much do accountants make on average? How much do doctors make? How much do attorneys make? How much do hairstylists make on average? So it's really approaching it from that place, almost as if it's like a day job or, like a job that you're going to get paid a set salary for. And so that is the first problem to really overcome whenever you're thinking about becoming an artist and making a living as an artist, is that you really don't want to look at it as if there is some sort of set income or average income that you will be able to make, right? Because, and I wish I would have known this, okay? So I didn't even have that high of hopes when it came to making a living as an artist whenever I first started out. I didn't even have any expectations that I was going to be able to make, say, even $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year as an artist. And so this is the other problem, is that as artists, we feel like we have to choose. We feel like we have to choose doing what we love and then also putting all of our financial power in the hands of other people, or even in the hands of say, fate itself, or destiny, or life, or whatever. And it's just simply not true. I wish I would have known this 10 years ago. I started out as a professional artist whenever I graduated art school in Old Lyme, Connecticut in 2011. So this is, 10 plus years ago. And whenever I first started out, I just was trying to find ways to make money anywhere that I could find it available. Do a little bit of teaching here, enter a show there, try to get into a gallery here, try to do some commissions here and there. But I really kind of approached it almost like I was on a scavenger hunt. And, I would have to kind of wait just for the random, sale to come through or the random class opportunity to come up. And what I wish I knew back then is this truth that I am going to share with all of you today, and that is how much money you can make as an artist, is the amount of money that you, as the artist, decide you are going to make. I'll say that again. You can make the amount of money that you, as the artist, decides you are going to make for yourself. Okay, this is the powerful truth and the powerful responsibility that I wish I would have known 10 plus years ago. Okay, so that means if you decide that you want to make $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $1 million a year as an artist, you can make that decision and you can make that happen for yourself in your business, okay? So I think the first kind of paradigm shift is just recognizing that number one, we have the power to make that decision for ourselves, and we have the power to make it become a reality, okay, from that decision place. So that's really the first thing, is just first making the decision, or even just coming to a place of curiosity, like, would that be possible? Can I actually decide how much money I would like to make as an artist? And then, can that happen? Can I approach this as I am a business owner and learn how to make that amount of money as an artist? And I'm here to tell you that yes, you can. So as I mentioned, I graduated in 2011, and I lived my life sort of in that kind of scavenger hunt for making money as an artist for the next 7 years. And that was really the kind of approach that I took to running my art business. I didn't even see myself as a business owner. At the time, I was still just filing self-employed, and I really was not approaching myself or my business as a business. So again, these are the first key shifts that have to happen for you in order for you to be able to decide how much money you want to make as an artist and then get there. Okay, so in 2018 was the first year that I decided how much money I wanted to make as an artist for that year. And my goal for that year was $75,000. That was more money than I had ever made in a year as an artist. I had been able to make, I think whenever I first started out, roughly like $36,000 for the year. That's like $3,000 a month. And this, I'm talking gross. I'm not talking after taxes or any of that stuff. I wasn't able to afford health insurance back then. I was always like driving beat up cars, living out of really, bad apartments, things of that nature, because my income level was so low. Then I was able to make upwards of $50,000 to $60,000, give or take, for a few of those years. And then in 2018, I decided, I hired a art business coach. Her name was Alexis Fedor at the time. And I decided for the first time ever to set the amount of money that I wanted to make in my art business for that year, for the year of 2018. And it was so amazing because I set the amount that I wanted to make. I created a strategy, came up with ideas to make that amount of money. I tracked my results every day, every single day, every week, every month, re-looking at, my outcome, my results, the amount of money I was getting in. Was I hitting that revenue goal or not? What could I do to hit that revenue goal? And the fascinating piece about this is that year I actually more than doubled the amount that I set out to make. So just by deciding that I was going to make, say, $75,000 that year, I actually ended up getting much closer to $150,000 that year in my business, in my revenue. And from there, it has just gone up and up and up. Okay, so last year I was just full transparency, and this is not to be braggy, but this is to, I want to be an example for all artists to be able to show you that it is possible. It is possible for you to be able to do the same thing that I have done, right? Maybe in a different way, but get the same type of results. So last year I was able to make $500,000 as an artist gross. Okay. Now, obviously, I've had to do a lot of mostly it's been mental and emotional work to get to that level, to have some major paradigm shifts. Within that, I've had to learn how to hire independent contractors to help me so that I can leverage my time, because at that level, once you're scaling to a few $100,000 a year, at that level, you really cannot do everything yourself and still, make paintings, right? So there have obviously been a lot of choices that I've made along the way in order to get to that level of income. But that's really what I wanted to share with all of you here today, is just to hopefully shed some light on the limited beliefs and problems that we do face as artists in terms of making a living and being financially prosperous and abundant and really wealthy as artists as well. And I am so glad that I made that shift in 2018, that I invested in myself, that I hired an art business coach, that I started, approaching my business differently. And that I just decided, this is how much money I want to make. Let's experiment. Let's test it out. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to be 100% committed to this goal, and let's see what happens. And I'm just so glad that I was able to get the help that I needed, make those decisions, and move forward. So that's really what I wanted to share with all of you here today, is that when you're wondering how much money you can make as an artist, I'm here to tell you that you're the one who actually decides that and can make that happen for yourself. Okay, artists, thank you so much for being here. Remember, no topic is off limits. So if you have any questions for me, if you have any topics you would like me to discuss, any of my experience you'd like me to share on any topic related to the art life, you can email in at info@artlifewithkelly.com and let me know what those questions and topics are. And of course, as always, let me know if this podcast was helpful to you. And of value and of service to you. I certainly hope that it was. And if you are looking for any instruction, if you're looking for any coaching, of course, you can always go to artlifewithkelly.com and find out all the resources that are available to you there. Okay, my friends, until next week, wishing you all an abundant, prosperous art life. Bye.